From 2013 to 2017, the 76ers committed to one of the most beautiful failures in NBA history. At its core, what they did wasn't unique. I mean, teams in the past have already blown up their operations in efforts of getting valuable draft capital. However, this didn't stop the 76ers from thinking outside the box. From their perspective, if they were already going to be a terrible team, why not go all the way? Sure, ticket sales will be down the abyss, but being the absolute worst team ensures you the greatest odds of getting the number 1 pick. Consequently, the Philadelphia 76ers embarked on the race for the last. Through the notorious process, the 76ers went on a polarizing run in which they went 75 and 253 in a 4-year span. To keep that into perspective, the Golden State Warriors almost covered that win total in a single season. So, was the process even worth it? Well, being bottom feeders brought about young talent who were thrusted into a losing culture. They were hits, they were misses, and everything in between. But at the end of the day, the 76ers got to the league's brightest stars because of it. Moreover, it looks like we're seeing a new rebuilding strategy in the Southwest, one that I'm coining the GameStop.
What do you mean by that?
Great that you asked that question. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with GameStop, but here's just a brief refresher. Though not as prominent as it once was, GameStop is a store that buys games and consoles off of people for cheap, and in turn, flips them for a steeper price to gain a profit.
Okay, so for all of this, it looks like it's going to be $32.
$32.
Oh, my bad. And 17 cents.
Well, that's kind of a similar strategy to what OKC has operated under. But before we continue, be sure to leave a like on the video, as each like makes a massive difference for the channel. And if you end up enjoying the video, then be sure to subscribe for more content like this. Without further ado, let's get back to the video. Of course, before their GameStop's grand opening, OKC ended up trading Paul George to the Clippers in a high leverage situation. The fact of the matter was that the Clippers badly wanted Kawhi's signature, but the way to beat the Lakers and Raptors to him was by acquiring PG. Thus, in a Goliath package, the Thunder got SGA, Gallo, and 5 first-round picks and 2 pick swaps. And subsequently, OKC was now ready to set shop. With Paul George out of town, it was clear that Westbrook would eventually need a change of scenery as well, preferably to a place where he could compete for a title. And despite his albatross of a contract, OKC ended up finding a deal. In a trade with the Rockets, the Thunder received 2 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps, and yeah, a player deemed to have the worst contract in all of sports. Initially, many people felt that CP3 was sent to OKC to die, given his then untradeable contract and given that OKC had a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs. But no one could have predicted what would happen next. OKC ended up making the playoffs as the 5th seed off the backs of a resurgent CP3 and a breakout season from Shea. Again, before the season even started, CP3's value was so bad that people believed that OKC would have to give some compensation to a team to take on his deal. But come season's end, CP3 would become a hot commodity after being a huge floor raiser for this Thunder team. As legend would have it, CP3 ended up being traded to the Suns for Kelly Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, and a first-round pick. Meaning, for taking on a point guard who wasn't even inferior to Westbrook, OKC got 2 first-round picks, 2 pick swaps, and later flipped CP3 for another first. On top of that, they traded Oubre to Golden State for a protected first-round pick and a second-round pick, and got Pokusevski in the process of trading Ricky Rubio. After this, the Thunder's next course of action was trading the newly acquired Danny Green in exchange for Al Horford's bad contract, and also in the process got a 2025 lightly protected first-round pick. Just like with CP3, Horford's value was practically at an all-time low due to his misfit with the Philadelphia 76ers, making many to view him as a negative asset. But being correctly used as a 5 in OKC, Horford actually had a productive season when he actually played. So much so that the Thunder were actually able to get a first round pick out of him in the Kemba Walker deal. In summary, the Thunder flipped two very expensive veterans who were deemed to have negative value for actual value. And the picks that they actually garnered from those trades just added to the treasure chest of picks that they already have in the storage room. Assets that will further supplement the young talent that they already have on the roster. Though extremely talented, SGA remains one of the most underrated and disrespected players in the league. And the reason I say disrespected is because Bleacher Report and others inexplicably involved him and first round picks in packages to trade up in the draft. I mean, Shea was literally the leading scorer on a playoff team 2 seasons ago, and last season averaged 24, 6, and 5 on 50% from the field and 42% from 3. Alongside Shea is Josh Giddey, who actually has been a solid backcourt mate as a rookie. People obviously had their complaints about Giddey coming out of the draft and questioned why OKC would have taken him that high. But so far, he has demonstrated the playmaking talent that he was touted for out of the NBL. Additionally, the Thunder have other young talent like Lou Dort, Trey Mann, Darius Bazley, and JRE amongst others. OKC's rebuilding strategy, which emphasizes on stockpiling picks, is quite unique. They are indeed tanking in the process, but having all these picks presents them with a ton of flexibility and options to improve in the future. With that draft capital, you can obviously trade up for a highly touted prospect in the draft, and at the same time, pray out the ones that you already have amount to something good. Also, if there is a young disgruntled star out there, then teams across the league know who to call when things go haywire. With that being said, that's it for the video, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for watching it. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, as each like helps boost the video and the algorithm. And lastly, even though you don't have a magical crystal ball, comment down below which rebuilding strategy you think will yield the greatest success in the future. The process or OKC's GameStop method. Hope to see you guys in the next one, and stay tuned.
Oh, this heart is tired. Oh, this soul is tired. But I'll keep on, I'll keep on, I'll keep on.